Hey, kumbe kuna watu wengi hapa. Let us take our seats. Thank you very much. Asante sana. Mr. Deputy President, Prime Cabinet Secretary, Ministers present, Permanent Secretaries or Principal Secretaries, Heads of parastatals, public servants, the good people, our interns this morning. Good morning, everybody. Hamjambo. Madam Aisha Jumwa, thank you very much for putting this together. When I see Aisha, she is a great inspiration to many people. And she is a product of internship and mentorship. That is how, the first time I met Aisha Jumwa, she was a counselor in Kilifi County. That today she is serving as Cabinet Secretary is tremendous progress. Congratulations, Madam, and I hope through you many other public servants find the inspiration to be the best they can, irrespective of where they stand today. Today you may be an intern, but the sky is the limit, so long as you work at it. I am delighted to be with you today at this momentous milestone in the life and career of many youthful emerging public servants and public service leaders. The state is constituted and sustained by the functioning of an effective public service. Government, similarly, expresses itself through the operations of public service. The country is served through the administrative departments of public service, while the economy is coordinated by the regulatory agencies of the public service. The public service is a fundamental constitutional component through which an effective state can achieve and maintain a stable society and efficient economy. In short, it is indispensable to a properly functioning republic such as ours. Government relies on the public service to satisfy citizens' aspirations by implementing policy, projects, and programs according to the mandate conferred on it through democratically elected leaders. The prospects of sustainable development for any society is therefore directly linked to the soundness of its public service. By soundness, I mean a public service that is firmly apolitical, impersonal, scrupulous, impartial, fair, consistent, predictable, and coherent. A sound public service must be loyal and subordinate to elected leadership. The standard for soundness of the public service is set out in Article 232(1) and 10 of the Constitution, which binds everybody acting in the name of the Constitution of Kenya. The government is committed to delivering its pledges to the people of Kenya as set out in our plan for the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. It has therefore embarked on formulating appropriate policy and strategic frameworks that will anchor implementation of our food security and agro-industrial production, affordable housing, universal health coverage, micro, small, and medium enterprises, as well as the digital economy agenda. To deliver a responsive, responsible, and accountable public service is an imperative. I am encouraged that our public service has maintained its political neutrality and impartiality for the greater part of our independent history, and especially since the advent of competitive democracy. In the world of globalization, digital governance, online enterprise, a fit-for-purpose public service is going to look and must be different. This inevitable and undeniable fact calls on us to quickly undertake changes that will enable the public service to adapt effectively and deliver to the highest standard even in changing times. I am confident that our public service is perfectly capable of this historic feat, and that, as a result, our nation will never have to suffer disruptions and distortions of teething problems and difficult transitions. We are serving the public at a time of daunting challenges. We are tasked with accelerating economic growth and recovery, ensuring equitable access to opportunity and wealth creation, and also leading our collective adaptation to a ferocious climate situation. We are counting on you to help us deliver the transformation required to overcome these challenges. If we are to deliver on the transformational agenda, we must begin by transforming our public service to make it more responsive to the needs of all our citizens. To place us firmly on this path, the Government of Kenya will adequately facilitate the Public Service Commission to put in place a fit-for-purpose public service. We envisage and expect a service that exhibits high levels of productivity, good governance, patriotism, commitment, diligence, honesty, and excellent performance. I have heard you, Chair, and the Commission on your request on what we need to do to make resources available for the better training, the better preparation of the public service so that they can deliver on their constitutional mandate. And I like the suggestion that you have said we can cut down on the mandazis and entertainment so that we can provide more money for training and mentorship. I wish the Minister for Finance was here so that he can do the needful. I quite agree with the proposition that this cohort of interns and those already in public service have benefited immensely from this program. I listened to you, Chairman, and you said it is the first time the head of state is coming for the public service statutory function as you do your report. I did not come here by default or for lack of something to do. I came here intentionally and deliberately because we have an agenda on account of the public service, and especially those who are climbing the ladder from the bottom. The agenda of internship is an agenda I believe in very strongly. There are many things we learn in school, there are many things we learn in college, but there are many more things we learn by mentorship and by internship. I am a great believer in internship and mentorship because I have seen the benefits and the value of mentoring others, providing an opportunity for others to learn. I have had the privilege to mentor many politicians. I have had the privilege to provide internship for many people in the political space. And part of any success, whether in public service, whether in business, whether in politics, is to be able to mentor others to be as good, if not better, than yourself. And I hope those of us who have the privilege to serve as leaders, either in business or in public service or in politics, that we consider mentoring others, providing internship for others to learn from us, and that we can pass on the baton. And I like what I heard Aisha say, that part of the success of leadership is to be able to arrange a succession plan. Do not sit in an office, do not occupy a position as though you are going to be there forever. It is important for all of us who have the privilege to serve that one day we will not be able to serve in the positions that we have, and you will be the better, you will be the richer if you can mentor others into those positions, if we can create a mechanism for others to learn from us, so that continuously, as a country, as a leadership, we are getting better. We can only become better, we can only get better as a nation if we learn from those who've been, so that we can improve those who will be. The question that keeps coming is, when somebody gets to 60, they begin to say, oh, you know, I have not arranged a succession plan. I need another 2 years extension so that I can do this and I can do the other. I mean, if you have reached retirement age and you have not done what you should have done, it cannot be an excuse. You just need to pack your small bags, move on, so that the others can also move up. And it is our policy decision that we respect our elders, and those who have served and have reached retirement age should not be bothered for a day longer with any other responsibility, but to give way to those who are graduating into those positions. As a politician, when my time comes, I am very confident that I have mentored enough young people, young leaders, who can, if not serve as good, maybe serve better than I have done. And I think that that should be the case for any public servant. Our strategy to transform the public service is centered on performance management and productivity. The ultimate measure of performance in public service is citizen satisfaction. Accordingly, the Government of Kenya will introduce a robust and integrated performance management architecture, and it will provide standardized tools for measuring service delivery across the public service, including state corporations and public universities. This will cut across both levels of government at the national and the county level. A review of the performance management framework in public service has revealed a number of constraints: misaligned institutional arrangements, inadequate policy, and to some extent, legislative and technical capacity limitations. Addressing these challenges requires a coordinated effort through a whole-of-government approach. Subsequently, the Prime Cabinet Secretary's office will work closely with the public service and the ministry concerned to bring together key agencies in government with a view to revamping, reinstitutionalizing, and driving a citizen-centric performance management system. The new strategy will seek to entrench a renewed public service performance culture. It will also seek to promote innovation and, crucially, secure the services of the best minds in our country by rewarding public servants who serve with distinction. We will also revitalize the Public Service Week and the Public Service Excellence Award, among other initiatives. Allow me to turn to my favorite part of this audience, the young people gathered here today. And we have two groups. The 3,902 interns joining the public service as the fifth cohort, the public service internship program, and the first cohort of the Public Service Emerging Leaders Fellowship. These two programs are undeniable success stories and underscore the government's commitment to strengthen and nurture strong leadership within the public service. And let me put this in context. We figured out this whole program of internship before the elections in 2017. And it was our intention to have a whole of government, a whole of country program where graduates from our institutions of higher learning can have at least 1 year transition as interns in their areas of expertise in the various areas. Unfortunately, we were not able to implement it the way I had thought about it. But I am happy that at least we started. And what is required now is for us to configure this, institutionalize it in policy and in law. And I'm happy that the Attorney General is here, so that you can work with the ministry concerned and work with the public service so that we can institutionalize internship as a program of transition for young people coming out of college, for them to acquire at least some level of understanding of what they learned in class and practice it at least in our institutions, whether they are public or private. I want to announce that the first step, and that's why I agree with you, Mr. Chairman, is that we have today 3,900 interns. The next intake, next year, I will suggest that we start with 20,000 next intake. Because I am told those who applied were 31,000 and only 3,900 got an opportunity, not to get a job, but to just have a feel of what government, public service, what the field looks like. And I think more young people should be afforded an opportunity to be an intern. I will be proposing that we work with the private sector so that private sector companies, industry can work with us on this internship program. And we are going to provide tax incentives for industries and private sector companies that will partner with us to afford an internship opportunity for the many young people graduating from our institution of higher learning, so that we can not only provide a transition for them, but we can also give them an opportunity to practice what they have learned in class, and for them to have a feel of what working in these offices looks like. That was our intention, and I intend to make it good this time around, now that I have the opportunity. So, Mr. Chairman and Madam Waziri, please begin to figure out how this is going to look like. I have some ideas. If you talk to me on the side, I have some ideas on how I think this should look like, so that we can, of course, take it through the usual process of public participation, so that also Kenyans can bring their ideas on what we need to do for our young people as they graduate from our institutions of higher learning. I am pleased to witness the enthusiasm of our young people working in the public service. I welcome you and ask you to bring your energy, your resilience. Please come with your ideas and creativity and innovation, because public service deserves the best. Karibuni sana. You are not just the now, you are also the future. And if you do your best, I am confident that our public service will be in good hands today, tomorrow, going into the future. I must say this: do not join the public service and hold back or shy off from contributing your ideas. There are no right or wrong ideas. We must always be prepared for a good idea to give way to a better idea, and for a better idea to give way to the best idea. That is where I would like public service to be. I remember, Chairman, when I came into office and we wanted to appoint CASs, and the public service brought to my attention that the court had problems with what the CAS, how the CASs had been appointed earlier. And I, after consultations, I told the chair and the public service, all I need is honest advice. And all we must do is go by the rule of law. And we had to redo the whole architecture because it was the advice of a professional public service. All public servants must discharge their mandate, their responsibility, go about their work, and be honest and serve, as was said here ably, with dignity. No is also an answer. If it is not possible, please say it is not possible. Do not cut corners. Do not bend rules. Let us play by the rule book. That's how Kenya is going to go forward, and that's how public service is going to remain professional. As you join the public service, you must do so to add value, to bring something new to the ecosystem where you will be working from. We expect ideas, we expect excellence, and we expect innovation and creativity. I want to congratulate the 51 fellows in the Emerging Leadership Fellowship Program. I understand you are now at the tail end of your training, which focused on public leadership development and inculcation of public service ethos. I am confident that you have adequately benefited from the many professional development opportunities that the program has offered you. And I want to reiterate that I am sure you are what I want to reiterate what I am sure you are aware of. We have high expectations of you, and we expect you to take up and deliver exceptional results in leadership capabilities across the public service. We expect this because we are confident you now understand the immense value of good leadership and strong values to any organization and to any society. When you return to your various departments, share the knowledge you have acquired with your colleagues and mentor others to be like you or even better. I challenge you to set a new leadership example and standard in government. I urge you to be agents of real change and, above all, to keep the fire of service burning within you and in the organizations that you represent. There is no better place to practice your leadership skills than in the Kenyan public service. As the Commission begins the recruitment of the next cohort of fellows, I reiterate my personal support to this initiative, and let us build more leaders. Let us have a public service full of leaders, and we shall see an incredible difference as a nation. I wish to extend my gratitude to our partners, emerging public leaders of the United States, and our very own Emerging Leaders Foundation for their financial support that enabled us to run this program. And as I said, I am looking forward beyond APSA, and we must be grateful to APSA. Thank you very much for being our partners. Beyond APSA, I am expecting all our banks, all our private sector players, people in industry, people in business. Even if you run a business of 20, 30 people, take one intern, take two interns. What we are going to do is to make sure that if you become our partners and take an intern into your mentorship and into internship in your organization, we are going to allow you some tax rebates so that we can do this together and provide opportunities for the thousands of young people who are looking for an opportunity to display their talents, their knowledge, their expertise, and also use their energy to drive our development. I am delighted to commission the graduate interns joining the public service under the internship program. All of you here today were professionally recruited by the public service among 31,000 applicants. I must say, to make it to 3,900 from 31,000, you deserve some congratulations. Pongezi. I am also informed that representations are from every ward in Kenya. It couldn't be better. And I hope, Mr. Chairman, as I told you, I have some suggestions. I hope that those who, even if you come from a particular ward, that your internship should not necessarily be in your county. I think it is important for you to go to a different county and see what it looks like and learn a different language and look at different culture and sample our nation. Do not be a villager. You know, there are people who go to primary school, secondary school, college in the same village. Please, we are a diverse nation, and the more we integrate, the more we work together, the better we become as a nation and the greater the appreciation of our diversity. This means that all of you, the 3,900, are special. All of you have something that can help us move the country forward. I am very confident about that. And I want to commend the Commission for ensuring that the interns reflect the face of Kenya by distributing all the available slots and ensuring also that persons living with disability and all genders are adequately represented. Again, Mr. Chairman, since these are very few opportunities, I hope next time, and since it is within your power, we can make this admission to internship 50-50 when it comes to gender, so that we can take this forward. Now, in its fifth cycle, the internship program has benefited more than 16,500 young graduates and continue to grow in popularity and reach. The program has injected vigor and energy into the public service through the creativity and ingenuity of youthful graduate interns. The length and breadth of Kenya has felt the impact of this program. The public service needs you and all of us. We have hopes in you. After your internship, you will be interested, hopefully, in a career in the public service. At the individual level, the internship program gives you an opportunity to gain work experience, develop interpersonal skills, build self-confidence, and enhance your chances of employment. I think the Deputy Governor of Murang'a is one such example. It is encouraging to note that over 10% of the interns who have previously been on the program have progressed to full-time employment in public service institutions. Owing to its success, the government will continue to support the growth of the program, and as I have said, the next intake will be 20,000 interns, and I look forward to working not just with all the parastatals, but all in the spectrum of both public and private. I hope private companies, good people in the private sector will take up this opportunity to work with us to provide internship to these young people of Kenya so that they can become better servants of Kenya, whether they work in the public or the private sector. Much as we would wish to absorb all of you after the internship, we acknowledge that the government does not have enough openings for all of you. However, the government will continue to implement policies that promote investment and job creation by the private sector, as we were doing yesterday. Yesterday, with working with the American government and the American Chamber of Commerce, I think we have opened up opportunities in our special economic zones, in our export promotion zones, in our pharmaceutical sector, for us to access not just jobs for our young people, but to also access commodities, foreign exchange, taxes, and grow our economy. However, I am happy also and pleased to note that the public service has plans to develop a framework for partnership with private sector organizations in this program. That's my recommendation, Mr. Chairman and Waziri, so that we can bring all the assets that we have, both public and private, to support this exercise. We will also anchor the program in law to ensure its institutionalization and sustainability by amending the Public Service Commission Act, and accordingly, the Attorney General will liaise with the Commission and Parliament to expedite appropriate legislative amendments of the laws to provide for this program going into the future. Allow me to make a few remarks about the 2021-2022 report on status of compliance of values and principles in Articles 10 and 232 of the Constitution that the Commission has presented to me this morning. I note that the survey covered 477 public institutions out of 525, representing a response rate of 91%. The head of public service is directed to write to those who did not respond to explain to us which government they serve. While this is an improvement from the previous year, anything short of 100% response is not only unacceptable, it is not right. Going forward, the Government of Kenya will demand answers from public institutions that do not participate in this evaluation that is anchored in law and in the Constitution. It is worth noting that the overall compliance level improved from the previous financial year, indicating that public institutions have progressively aligned with the national values and principles of governance outlined under Article 10 of the Constitution and values and principles of public service under Article 232 of our Constitution. I want to assure you that the government will fully implement the recommendations of this report. We will ensure that the public service reflects the face of Kenya's diverse communities and affords adequate and equal opportunities for appointment of women, men, members of all communities, and persons living with disability. The recommendations to migrate public service to online platforms to ensure compliance with values and principles of governance is in perfect synchrony with our plan to digitize government services. So far, 5,700 government services have been digitized, and we are well on course, ensuring that by June this year, between 90% and 100% of all government services will be online, so that the public service can be much more efficient and much more effective in delivering services to the people of Kenya, even as we use the digital platform to eliminate corruption, to eliminate pilferage, to eliminate wastage, and to make government services not just efficiently delivered, but also to make it easy for citizens to interact and work with their government. The recommendations will be, as I have said, completed, and this exercise will be done by June to allow Kenyans to access services without unnecessary bureaucracy. The digital transformation era that we live in demands smart solutions. Now more than ever, we need our smartest and most innovative men and women to drive public service, secure our country, grow our economy, and promote social inclusion. The government will therefore continue to invest in the development of skills to support transformation into a truly digital economy. Finally, let me extend my gratitude to all public servants across the country for the work you do and you continue to serve our nation. The government will progressively improve your terms of service and conditions of work. It is now my pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, after everything I have said, to say that as we progress together, let us not be distracted. We are a robust democracy. We believe in the rule of law, and it is my contention that the Constitution, even as it provided for us to have divergent opinions, and we should, In fact, something would be very wrong with us if we agreed on everything all the time. Having competing ideas, having divergent opinion is part of what we celebrate as a democracy, and we must celebrate our diversity in ideas as well. But it is my position that the Constitution did not envisage that different opinions would result in chaos or loss of property or loss of life. We must, all of us, be able to celebrate all the rights provided for in our Constitution in a manner that respects the rights of others, and also in a manner that does not destroy property or in a manner that does not make our children not go to school. I think we can do that. We are mature enough to be able to do that. And I hope that all of us will begin to understand where we must go. It is now my pleasure to declare the 5th cohort of the Public Service Internship Program and the 2021-22 report on status of compliance with values and principles of Article 10 and Article 232 of the Constitution by the Public Service officially launched. Asanteni sana. Thank you very much. God bless you. Na asante sana. Congratulations, Chairman and all the commissioners. And we look forward to working with you. And I think all is well. Na wangwana wale interns, congratulations for being part of this program. I look forward to working with you, and I look forward to us moving the country forward together. Asanteni sana. God bless.